can the Kell still do it? Can, you know, the Sheffield Floyd do it? It's a great chance. Can Kell go and call the upset of the year? This will be bigger than Teofimo Lopez versus Lomachenko. This will be bigger than the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder full upset. You know, people thought Tyson was going to get smacked up, but this will be probably the biggest upset of 2020. Can he do it? Let's talk about this. Yo guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Ibrahim Omar. If you haven't done it already, please like and subscribe. That would be amazing. You know, we're trying to get to 1K in subs, so if you guys could do that, that would be amazing. Take you like a minute or so. But this week we have a really good fight between Terence Crawford and Kell Brook. What can I say? I'm rooting for Kell Brook, but just because I'm rooting for Kell Brook, that doesn't necessarily mean I 100% believe that he would win. On the bookies, I don't even check it, but I think it was like 11-1 odds for Brook to win. That is really steep odds for me. This all depends on Brook's preparation. Most fights depend on preparation, but this one in particular, if Brook comes in at, let's say, really heavy, he has to weigh in at a certain weight, and between the weigh-in and the actual fight, he can't really blow up in weight. So that is, I don't know if that's still applicable now in this fight in particular, but that'll be very good to see as well. You've got Terence Crawford. Of course, Terence Crawford coming against a great win against his last opponent was Amir Khan, I believe. Okay, but what can Kell do to win? Kell Brook, like, some people say he's got no chance. Of course, there's that debacle with Eddie Hearn, whereby Eddie Hearn, in a nutshell, Kell decided to go out of his way and do the fight for, like, you know, him and his manager agreed to the fight and excluded Eddie Hearn in that negotiation. What happened then afterwards is Eddie Hearn feeling a sense of betrayal, a sense of, you know, you kind of kicked me out the group, you know. And what happened was that Eddie Hearn decided to leave it, decided to say to him, okay, you do you and I do, you know, we'll work on the matchroom shows. Kell decided to go back to Eddie Hearn and of course say to him, look, can you, or not even him, can you and Sky Sports cover this show? Of course, being in the early hours of the morning, Eddie Hearn as well being a sense betrayed, decided not to go about with the show and broadcast it. And I don't even know if they have a UK broadcaster on the books as well, which would be a bit annoying. But I don't think Sky Sports are covering it, BT Sport are not covering it, ITV, Channel 5, I don't think any of them are covering it. So it'll be good to see who's going in the UK, you know, network are covering this fight. But from my opinion, Eddie was in his right to believe that, you know, he didn't really have to promote Kell Brook after Kell Brook decided to walk away. But then they went a few back and forth with regards to Eddie saying that, you know, I was there when you were on your lowest point fighting some dead guys, in a nutshell. I was also there when you fought Triple G. So Eddie's probably thinking, after all those years of me standing beside you, and this is the sort of thanks I get, that's probably what he's thinking. Kell's probably thinking, look mate, I was there for years and I got on the biggest shows. I was there for the Triple G fight. So he's probably thinking, look, I made you a lot of money. I've been loyal to you, and in a nutshell, Kell as a fighter could have decided to go to other promotions. He could have went to the PBC or Top Rank, and they could have gave him maybe a lot more top level fight at that weight category. Because of course, this is a weird one, because Kell is a 150, he's too small to go on 154 pounds, but he's too big to go on 147. But even both categories, I think the Americans have a lot more in their stable with regard to between Bob Arum and the PBC, and with Al Heyman, they have a very huge stable of fighters that Kell can fight around that weight category. He fought Errol Spence and he's fought Triple G, but there was a lot more people, at least out there, that he could have fought with regards to that side as well. And Terence Crawford is one of the pound for pound great fighters of this generation. Terence, where would I rank Terence Crawford? I'll rank Terence Crawford in at number 3. It's tough, man. Actually, you know what? In at number... It's tough. Top 5. I'll rank him top 5. Okay, it's tough because you've got Canelo in there, you've got Errol Spence in there, you've got Alexander Usyk in there, Terence Crawford, of course. You've also got maybe even Teofimo Lopez top 5, because Lomachenko was top 5, and Lomachenko beat and Teofimo beat Loma in, of course, about a couple of weeks ago. So does that mean he's in the top 5? It's interesting, and I'll make my top 5 fairly soon. I think I'm gonna have to do it after this fight in particular, because most of the people who are in my sort of top 10 pound for pound are sort of haven't all fought yet, but most of them would have fought by come Sunday. Teofimo would have fought, and maybe Canelo have. I would have to. Shall I wait to the end of the year? That's debatable. I'll come back to that in a bit. But back to Kell, Brook, and Terence Crawford. Kell has to be 100% fit. This has got to be your fight of the century. This has got to be your fight of the decade. You've got to come in at the best weight you could possibly do it. Okay, like for me, if Kell doesn't come in at 100%, if he's got carrying injuries, if he's overweight, being overweight. Okay, let's touch up on this subject, because I was speaking about this with, you know, a couple of the guys in the Undisputed, Travis and KG in the Undisputed podcast. If you haven't already, please subscribe to them also. And I would say, look, the bare minimum for a fighter is like, firstly, turning up to the fight and the press conferences, you know, do your media obligations, and weighing in like properly, you know, not being too heavy for the fight. Kell, in this fight in particular, he's got to go in 100%. This has got to be the bare minimum. It's like carrying your pens and your stationery to school. This has got to be your bare minimum. You've got to come in at 147. I think you'll find it 147 or 154, but regardless of the weight, you've got to come in at the exact weight. Okay, no dilly dally, no messing around. You've got to come in at 147. Okay, you've got to study Kell Brook to the T. Not couple, you've got to study, Kell Brook has to study Terence Crawford to the T. He's got to make sure he knows every weakness that you can possibly find with Terence Crawford. You've got to ask maybe his opponents that he's maybe beaten, you know, opponents that he's faced, or maybe previous opponents. Not Amir Khan, of course, but maybe other people as well. Maybe other opponents that Terence has faced. Maybe say, okay, what have you noticed in this fight? What angles do you think that I could win in? And what weaknesses can I exploit? And from Kell's perspective, he's got to look at Terence as in, like, you've got to go in all in blazing. You've got to go in first round. You've got to go like absolute fire. Maybe do a similar tactic to how Teofimo beat Lopez, and just try to, you know, really hurt him in the earlier rounds. Like, we're talking causing a lot of violence and a lot of hurt to him in the first maybe 1 to 6 rounds, and then from 6 going onwards, maybe then just let your foot off the gas, keeping him on the outside range, and don't let him win a couple of rounds. Do what you got to do to win maybe 1 or 2 rounds after round 6, and then sort of damage control. Stay in it, keep yourself on the jab. And, you know, if Terence, if he's really hurt, maybe go in for the kill. If Kell Brook decides to come in at his strongest, at his most heaviest, not his heaviest, as his most fittest, at the best condition that he could possibly face, for me, this becomes a now 50-50 bout. And once that happens, I think that he could potentially win, but then it becomes a toss-up. If he comes in at any deficiency, his weight's a little reduced, this, like, any deficiency, for me, he's not gonna win this fight whatsoever. Okay, I was gonna wait to do this during the weigh-in and wait to do this maybe a bit afterwards, but like for me, like if he doesn't come in correct, he's not, for me, he's not gonna win. And also as well, you've got the fact that he's no longer training with Dominic Ingle. Is he? I don't know who's training him. That is also a scary thought as well. But I think Kell's 34 years of age. I don't know what his intention is in this fight, whether it's to win, whether it's just for a normal or a payday. If it's for a payday, then I wouldn't want to get hurt for a payday, put it that way. Okay, if this is for legacy, if this is for, okay, I could beat this guy convincingly, if I win him, I will be like the guy. I will be in that pound for pound competition if I beat Terence Crawford. Okay, of course I understand that there's a rematch clause, and I think Bob decided to do this after his Loma loss the other week. He decided to go forward, everything is going for a rematch clause. I think Eddie does that a couple of times, but Bob Arum, he's learned his lesson, put it that way, he's learned his lesson. This is your Punchup preview for Terence Crawford versus Kell. Brook. I'm excited what's coming. If you haven't done it already, guys, please like and subscribe. This is like bringing your pens and pencils to school, guys. Come on, you like watching the videos. All you gotta do is click the like button and click the subscribe button. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. Peace, love, and prosperity, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. Peace.